Hey folks, how you doing? My name's Alex and welcome to another episode of Tighten Your Shot Group, another podcast in association with the Alex Kirsch Project and also in association with 365 Broadcasting. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their weekend. Today is the 22nd of May, 2020, and it's also my sister's 40th birthday, so happy birthday, sis. Hopefully you're enjoying the rest of your day and rest of your evening. Don't worry, your birthday present is coming soon. So one of the things I thought I'd like to talk about is that just recently, just today, the president decided to say that he is going to open up churches this weekend because they are now considered essential. Now, here's the thing. I want everybody to understand something, okay? I, for one, am still somewhat religious, and I still have a belief that everyone should be able to worship whatever religion they want to, whether you're a Catholic, a Jew, a Muslim, a Buddhist, a Shintoist, whatever, okay? This is the country that freedom of religion and freedom from religion exist. People that are religious, people that are not religious can learn to coexist in this society, and not everybody has to agree with one another. There's nothing wrong with that. But what's killing me right now is the fact that people are trying to say that churches are essential, okay? Now, I want everybody to understand something, okay? I get it. I get why people say that churches are essential, but I want to make something 100% crystal fucking clear, okay? You can still do church services on Zoom, okay? And I've brought this up before with that one pastor down in Louisiana, Pastor Tony, because he wanted people to donate their fucking stimulus checks to his fucking church, which I think is an absolute atrocity.
Challenge. 3 rules. Number 1, April the 19th, 2020. It begins. Rule number 2, donate your stimulus money. Rule number 3, donate it to evangelists, North American evangelists who haven't had an offering in a month.
I think it's an abomination. I think it's just forcing people and guilting people into contributing to your fucking church because you're too much of a selfish prick to go out and do it on your own. And it drove me crazy because the thing is people are actually going to do it. Now, people are free to do whatever the fuck they want to with their stimulus checks. But honestly, I think it's an absolute atrocity that you would guilt people to do it because otherwise they are going to burn in the pits of fucking hell for it. Here's the thing that kills me the most, is that people are thinking that if they don't go to church, they're not going to have a connection with God. Nothing could be further from the truth. Again, I am somewhat religious. I do get why people are atheist or agnostic, and I get why people don't believe, right? Because how can you live in a world that's as crazy as this and there be a God? Well, I can't have that answer right there because I can't provide it for you. Now, you can give me whatever logical argument you want to. That's fine by me. I don't give a shit, okay? I'm still choosing to believe. Why? Because it's my right to do so, and I truly do want to continue to believe that there is somebody out there looking out for us. But the only thing is that I still believe that we have free will in this country, on this planet, across the universe, to live our lives how we see fit. That's why the world is the way it is because we have the choice to do so. Now, most people would say, well, why would he just leave us to our own devices? Well, because, long story short, if you look at the Old Testament, God was very micromanaging, and look how that turned out. But the thing is, though, in the New Testament, we're pretty much left to our own devices right now. But here's the thing that's killing me the most, is that there are too many people in this country that feel very self-righteous, that feel that they have the power to control, the power to indoctrinate, and the power to influence people. And the sad part is, it's kind of true. There are people out there that are brainwashing and essentially making people believe that they have a direct connection to God, which I don't think they have any more of a direct connection to God than I do. And what's worse than that is that these people are actually making it seem like they are the ones, the messengers of God, when nothing can be further from the truth. They are no more messengers of God than I am. The thing is that I don't care if they actually say they are or they're not. But the problem is it only bothers me is when they start guilting people and making people believe that they truly are. And they're doing it for financial purposes. Now, there's a video I'm about to show you, okay? And this is by a pastor named Kenneth Copeland. Now, for those that don't know, Kenneth Copeland is a guy that's been confronted by Inside Edition for essentially making millions of dollars while in the service of the Lord.
And you have some fancy clothes. I mean, for a pastor, you are living a life of luxury. You've got great homes, you've got great planes. You drive in limos,
I'm a
and
very wealthy man.
you're a very wealthy man.
Yes.
Okay, I want everybody to understand something. Okay, if you are getting paid to be a man of God or woman of God, you're not obviously doing it in the service. You're only doing it for yourself, essentially, and it's a absolute fucking shame, honestly. I think it's disgraceful. If you're doing something, it's because you want to actually serve the Lord. This guy isn't serving the Lord whatsoever. He is serving himself. And the problem is that there are people out there that actually believe that he is a messenger. This is about a 2.5-minute video, and I don't give a shit if anybody comes after me on this video, because honestly, it's driving me crazy that people like this get attention. It drives me crazy that people like this get clout. It's bad enough that we still got people that are licking toilet seats and getting fame off of that. It's bad enough that we've got people out there that are actually talking about selling their babies on fucking trafficking or killing them and stuff like that. It's bad enough that we got people like that, but now we've also got the immoral people that are claiming to be messengers of God. There is no happy medium nowadays. And that's what breaks my heart the most, is the fact that we've got so many people out there that don't deserve attention, that get all the fucking attention, and people watch them. People watch this shit. It's fucking disgusting, honestly. But this is what our society is turning into nowadays. And yet they're the ones complaining about who are the real troublemakers for our society, when honestly, I think it's them that are the troublemakers. They're the ones that are duping people and guilting people into contributing to their churches when they don't deserve that money, honestly. I think they are terrible, disloyal, and dishonest in every aspect. So, once again, I'm just going to show you this video real quick, okay? And I'm just going to leave it to you to decide how you feel about this video.
We'll exercise judgment right now.
Because we have...
In the name of Jesus.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Standing in the office of the prophet of God, I execute judgment on you, COVID-19.
Oh, Ramash.
I execute judgment on you, Satan, you destroyer, you killer. You get out, we break your power, you get off this nation. I demand judgment on you. I demand a vaccination to come immediately.
Yes.
I call you done. I call you gone. You come down from your place of authority, destroyer. You come down and you crawl on your belly like God commanded you when he put his foot on your head in the Garden of Eden. You will destroy through COVID-19. No more.
No more. No more.
It
No more.
is finished.
Finished.
It is over. And the United States of America is healed and well
Thank you.
again,
Praise.
saith the mighty
Hallelujah.
Spirit
Glory.
of peace, who is also the Prince of War, the Lord Jesus Christ. When oppressive, mean, nasty people attack his people, when mean, oppressive, nasty diseases attack his people, George, the Prince of Peace takes his place. And he becomes the mighty man of war.
That just makes me sick to my stomach, honestly. There is nothing worse than somebody that actually thinks that they have the power to drive out COVID-19. I'm sorry, but there is no such religious figure on this planet or on this planet of existence that has the ability to drive out any sort of disease whatsoever, okay? Or virus. All right. There's only one thing that does that, and that's scientific research, okay? And right now, I think scientists are working as hard as they can and as fast as they can to develop this vaccine. Now, this isn't a talk about whether vaccines really work or not, but I can tell you for certain that vaccines do not cause autism for anybody out there that thinks they do when you have no science or facts or evidence to back it up with, okay? But right now, I'm talking about these religious fucking nut jobs that think that they have the authority and the power to drive out all viruses. That's not how it works, okay? This shit is not just going to play out on its own, okay? I get it. People say this has a 99% survival rate, of course. Okay, fine. It has a 99% survival rate. We have toppled 93,000 people that have died, and it is the month of May. That's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. You can tell me how this is not that big of a deal, but honestly, cases have been spiking in the state of Georgia all by itself. And that's what's most disturbing right now. And people are still not fucking taking it seriously. Now, people are wondering if they are truly being oppressed and suppressed, and people are finding themselves, incapable of going to their houses of worship. Let's understand something, okay? If you think that you need to go to church to have a connection with God, you're sadly mistaken. Then you obviously are not paying attention. You need to crack open that fucking Bible of yours and read it again. I've read the Bible from cover to cover, all right? No, I can't recite everything verbatim. I can't recite passages from the Bible word for word. But I can tell you this. I don't need to go to church to have a connection with God. Because honestly, I can't go to churches much anymore. And I choose to not go to churches anymore because I would much rather go to a place where I don't feel like I'm going to be lectured for the next hour or so and talked about how and why I should worship God or Jesus and all the other people that actually sacrificed for his holy name, right? I don't need to go do that. I hate people like this. And I know hate might be a very strong word, but the problem is you've got pastors like Kenneth Copeland who make millions of dollars off of the backs of the American people, and has done nothing to actually help the American people. But he'll tell you Jesus needs a new Gulfstream probably. These are not good examples of people that consider themselves men or women of God. Honestly, you shouldn't make a dime in the service of God. You should not. But there are people out there that are like that, and he is one of them. He is an example of a man that is a charlatan, a man that is not a messenger of God. He is a false messenger of God, honestly. And it sickens me that this man gets attention. It sickens me that this man actually gets any kind of clout. And it worries me that so many people attend his church services. Now, it's entirely up to them. It is by their right, by the Constitution of the United States. But it bothers me to no end. I would much rather go to a church where the church is in shambles. There's very, very little attendance, but the message is what matters. The message is what counts. That's what should matter when it comes down to it. Far too often we continue to find these people, these religious figures that are always talking about why you should believe in God. And they continue to push this agenda, how if you don't do this, if you don't do that, if you don't follow by these principles, if you don't follow by this scripture verbatim, you're destined for the pits of hell. No one's going to want to go to a church service after that because then they feel they have nothing left to lose. This is why so many people don't attend churches anymore. It's because they always feel like they're being judged upon. Churches are some of the worst when it comes to gossip because you'll always have those foofy people that feel like they are superior to everybody else because they have very good friends in high places, and therefore they feel that their moral high ground is a lot stronger than yours. I believe it was Richard Dawkins himself that says, if you feel that you need religion in order to have morality, then obviously there's something wrong with religion. I feel that you don't need religion in order to be moral. You can have religion as a guideline, but the thing is, though, is morals and values are not necessarily a part of religion. You can have morals and values without religion at the same time. People just choose to have religion because they need something to believe in, which is perfectly fine and dandy, as long as you don't do it to hurt other people. Which, unfortunately, this day and age, religion is one of the greatest causes of war, death, and destruction all across the planet. And I'm saying it right now. It truly is. Since the dawn of time, since mankind actually was able to pick up a rock Ever since they've had the ability to create deities at the top of their heads, there has been war, disease, famine, poverty. There's been people that have been executed and sacrificed for other people's gods all across the planet, even dating back to the ancient Sumerians. And that's the part that people do not understand, is that religion has caused so much pain and suffering, but at the same time, it has done wonderful things to help people in their time of need. Christmas time, you'll always see churches out there feeding the homeless, which is wonderful. It's beautiful. Jimmy Carter, once again, Habitats for Humanity, doing it for the right reasons, because that's exactly how they feel that Jesus taught his disciples, to actually put your money where your mouth is. But far too often, I see churches that are not doing that. Instead, I see them spreading these false messages and guilting people and judging people for the sake of to line their own fucking pockets. And to me, that is an absolute fucking shame right there. And they should be ashamed of themselves. And people tell me that I gotta face up to my sins. You know what? I will face up to my sins when I reach the pearly gates. If I reach the pearly gates. And if not, then so fucking be it, okay? But I will not put on this facade, this fake belief that I need to be a certain way and I need to have a certain connection with God. How I have my connection with God is entirely my fucking business. But anyway, I keep going off on this tangent just because it gets on my damn nerves right now. So when it comes down to it, okay, when they say that churches are essential, I have to disagree. Churches are not essential. You can make the argument as like, well, people go to Home Depot, people go to Walmart. That's because you can get what you need at Home Depot. You can get what you truly need to survive at Walmart. That's why those places are considered essential. Church is not essential. Yes, you can talk about how you can have your close connection to God, but your close connection to God is going to mean absolutely jack diddly squat if you can't feed your family. Your connection to God isn't going to mean shit if you aren't able to ensure that, you've got enough groceries, you've got enough fresh water to ensure that you can bathe your children, change their diapers, what have you. You need to exercise a little common fucking sense. But here's my final thoughts on this, okay? Fine. Open your churches. But the second that more cases start to spike up because people chose not to follow the guidelines, because people decided that their connection to God was more important than other people's safety, then that whole entire decision is going to be on the heads of those who did not exercise good common sense. Plain and simple. I always tell people we have got to be smart about this. Simple as that. Because I don't know anything about viruses. I am not a scientist. I didn't do good when it came down to science. And I'm openly admitting to that. But the thing is, though, you don't have to be a scientist. You don't have to be a virus specialist. You don't have to have a PhD to realize that this is still a very serious situation right here. And if you're going to continue to push this agenda that people have to come to church, that this is an absolute necessity that people come to your church just so you can get on your fucking pedestal and pretend like you are the one that needs to spread the message of God while you just recite out of a Bible that has been translated over 80 times from different languages all across the world, and there is no actual original copy of the Bible. All of these stories are possibly over-exaggerations, and you mean to tell me that you have a closer connection to God? I say, fuck you, okay? If my mother-in-law can watch a church service from King of Kings up in Michigan, okay, which is an amazing service. It's a lovely service where the pastor just spreads all the positive messages out the Bible, where they accept everybody for who they are. They don't say, you can't come here because you're gay, you can't come here because you're rich or you're poor. Everybody is welcome. Inclusivity is one of the greatest things and one of the greatest equalizers when it comes down to religion. And if you're willing to use your religion to cast people out, then guess what? Your religion has no place around here, in my eyes. You're still free to practice as you see fit, but I have a huge problem with those that choose to exclude those just because your religion tells you to do so. Exercise a little bit of common sense and restore the values that made this nation great. I have a feeling, though, that this is just only the beginning. Soon people are going to find themselves doing the same fucking things over and over again, and it absolutely fucking breaks my heart. If you haven't done so, please go ahead and hit like, share, and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. The more subscribers I get, the more content I plan on putting out. Be sure to catch me every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Podbean or on YouTube. And feel free to subscribe over to my Patreon channel, okay? This is Alex Kirsch, and I want to say thank you, everybody, for joining me. Talk to you later.